Arsenal versus Liverpool never seems to disappoint, and their latest duel, a 1-1 draw here at Emirates Stadium, was undoubtedly one of the most absorbing, high-standard games we've seen so far this season. I really didn't mind watching this one back a second time. Here's my breakdown. There wasn't much to choose between the two forward lines or their respective rearguards. Both sets of players performed well, but Arsenal absolutely bossed the midfield battle. Granit Xhaka and Lucas Torreira exerted fantastic control. Whenever Liverpool tried to get Fabinho on the ball, Torreira smelled blood. Getting in the Brazilian's face, he executed some great turnovers. His partnership with Xhaka was a super tight unit. Arsenal's midfield also screened service into the front men quite brilliantly. From this Torreira interception, the Gunners nearly scored, courtesy of a wonderful Xhaka pass. This segment of the game sums up why Unai Emery was so keen to sign Torreira. The desire he shows to break up a promising counter-attack was superb in its own right, but look at how the Uruguayan keeps at it, being aggressive and closing down like it's the most fun job in the world. This is brilliant off-the-ball work. Xhaka made 5 tackles, a couple of interceptions and 16 ball recoveries in a top-class display. As a pairing, they completely tied up the engine room. With the back four touched tight and midfielders on the strikers' toes, there was precious little space between the lines. For the full 90 minutes, these two engine room stars played out their skin. As the scoreline suggests, this was by no means one-way traffic. Liverpool worked hard for their points and did cause problems. Let's take a closer look at the most recurring theme. Runners from deep were the biggest issue. Here, Firmino times his burst from a spot in midfield, beating the offside trap superbly. By the letter of the law, this goal really should have stood. Arsenal were caught square again by another lofted pass here. Mustafi's starting position wasn't quite tight enough to Van Dijk, but thankfully Leno's brave block bailed him out. On this occasion, Holding tries to play offside from another terrific Salah run that catches them cold. Playing with that high line was a bold ploy. For Liverpool's goal, it was Mane that made a quality sprint from deep that Emery's back four were a little slow to react to. Was Leno then culpable? Personally, I don't think so. He had to go for the cross, which wasn't catchable from where he was. And but for a deflection off Holding, his parry would have gone to Kolasinac. I think it was plain unlucky. There was only one mistake by Leno that we should mention. Here, the trajectory of the cross is too flat for him to come out and claim. It was a let-off. I think this was Arsenal's best performance of the season. Up against a seriously strong side, they produced a collection of moves and moments that rightly had the home fans purring. The tone was set just 18 seconds in when Aubameyang successfully robbed Trent Alexander-Arnold. This piece of pressing was the ideal way to start. The players' minds were so bright. This training ground move was razor sharp and really intelligent, and there was a continuation of the fluent, flowing football that's been the signature of Arsenal's season so far. I thought the team used their fullbacks magnificently well in this contest, releasing them when it was right to do so. Kolasinac and Bellerin really enjoyed themselves. Attacking with a sense of purpose, Arsenal's opponents often looked outnumbered when the hosts sprung forward, and inside the final third, Aubameyang's clever out-to-in movement kept on opening up space on the wing. Once again, we saw moves that began with the keeper creating goal-scoring opportunities. The passing here is so confident, and the runs made by Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang tied their markers in knots. Unai Emery's side go from back to front so smoothly. All of Liverpool's forward players boast fantastic scoring records against Arsenal, so the challenge facing centre-backs Shkodran Mustafi and Rob Holding was a daunting one. Not that you'd have known it, both men were outstanding. Both centre-backs showed a genuine thirst for the battle, and I loved that attitude, displaying no fear. They were aggressive in all their actions and decision-making, limiting the space for Liverpool's star men extremely well. As you can see, their numbers were top draw, and they also happened to be the most accurate passers in the Gunners lineup too. This was a tough examination, and they exceeded most people's expectations. On the subject of distribution, it's usually Liverpool's intensity that upsets Arsenal's quality in possession. This time that pattern was flipped on its head. Unlike recent meetings, it was the Gunners who successfully knocked Liverpool out of their stride, passing the ball much better than the visitors in what was an exceptionally fast-paced match. I was really impressed by Arsenal's composure and cohesion on the ball. If they can look after possession this well, this confidently against a team of Liverpool's ilk, it bodes really well for the future. No one in this season's Premier League has picked up as many points from losing positions as Arsenal have, and once again they dug deep in the second half to send their supporters home happy. Here in the 82nd minute, Iwobi was playing at left back, which is why he collects the ball so deep. It's a good position for him to see the bigger picture though, and what a pass he found to slip Lacazette in for a quite wonderful equalising goal. Lacazette and Welbeck both wanted to make the same run, and you can see Lacazette pointing to where he wanted the ball. For me though, he comes up with 3 perfect touches. The first takes him away from the keeper, the second sets himself ideally for the strike, and the third is an unerringly accurate finish. This goal was a magical moment and richly deserved. Every now and then, a player will come up with a stunning showreel performance, a display so good they'd love to replicate it every time they set foot on the pitch. Granit Xhaka did that against Liverpool. The vast majority of Xhaka's 97 passes were completely on the money, whether it was sliding players in for a chance or spraying inch-perfect balls to a teammate from 60 yards. The midfielder's left foot was right on point. In a sensational first half display, Xhaka was simply everywhere. Look here at the sprint he puts in to track Salah, and his tackle inside the box was tremendous. The Swiss star, restored to a midfield berth, won the ball back so often with forceful pieces of play. Here, his hard work almost sparks a goal. And Xhaka was at the heart of everything Arsenal did well. In this example, his early, progressive pass leads to one of the game's best chances. Defensively, I thought he was totally reliable and rock solid too. I can't think of a better 90-minute performance from Xhaka in an Arsenal shirt. The one word that stands out most about this Arsenal display is progress. The way the team asserted themselves physically, mentally and tactically filled the fans with pride, and that is a major step in the right direction. To play this well against a fantastic Liverpool team shows just how well they're developing under the new head coach.
Whoa. Come on, guys. Subscribe.
Right now.